Hofstra is in the home gold with the white shorts and Delaware in the road blues, and an infraction against Hofstra gives Delaware the ball to begin the day.
Very interested to see how Delaware, in terms of strategy, what type of pace of play they're going to want to do today. You know, they're playing against one of the best defenses in the country, a very good goalie, but I really don't think the goalie has been tested a ton of this year. The Hofstra's defense has been outstanding, so Kincannon hasn't seen too many shots. What I want Delaware to do is take quality shots, but I really want them to see the volume up. I want to see over 40 shots today.
In the loss last week to Fairfield, Hofstra only allowed 5 goals. So it's not frequent where you allow 5 goals in a losing effort. Delaware trying to get beyond that today. Here's a look right on the crease, turnaround shot, bounces one by Kincannon. Bryce Reed, the sophomore, nets his 19th goal of the year, and Delaware takes a lead early on.
Overall, just very good offense out of Delaware coming out of the gates. Really like the speed of the ball movement. You see it dodge from up top, and the crease defenseman slides upfield, which you're really not taught to do. It was an unnecessary slide. The midfielder is close to the restraining line, leaves the crease attackman wide open, and a great finish.
Nice work by Will Hirschman to roll and create the movement and draw that slide. So we go back to the face-off X with Hervada and Gallagher. And Delaware won the first one off a procedure. Gallagher wins this one cleanly, and then having a little trouble holding on to it. Delaware scoops it up off the turf. Here come the Blue Hens' unsettled situation, and they'll slow it down. It's a Delaware team that averages 10.6 goals per game, but they give up 10.8 goals per contest. Both these teams, Rob, I think at times this season have been a little tough to figure out, both from an outside perspective and obviously the coaching staff and the players involved. You know, Delaware started out 3-0. They lost to Villanova in the 4th game of the season by a goal. They've lost 4 games of their 6 by 2 goals or less. Hofstra still a slow start with some injuries. They had some big wins, but then the last couple weeks they've been very up and down.
I would completely agree. Both teams have played very well against very good competition, but then not played so well against some bad competition. So they're kind of playing to the level of who they're playing against, which is really not really what you would consider really good teams. But again, you know, I think the at-large is out of play. Conference play is a whole new season. These games are so important in order to give them a shot to get in the playoffs.
There's Charlie Kitchen right on the crease again. They find Joe Easel, and Delaware feasting in the middle, leading 2-0 early on.
Just some really good stick work. Leaning into his defenseman, another hedge, another crease slide, leaving the crease attackman wide open. Hofstra's going to have to correct that because that's 2 times in a row where the crease defenseman is leaving his guy with no 2-slide behind him, leaving it relatively easy for the crease attackman to score.
12th goal of the season for Joe Easel, so we talk up Hofstra's defense. Just under 7 goals per game, and they allow 2 goals here in the first 2+ minutes. Face-off win by Gallagher, and we'll get the first look at the Hofstra offense so far this afternoon. Hofstra team that has battled injuries specifically in the midfield all season. Seth Tierney likened it to, you know, a boxing match. He says that they always say to work the cut, to go at the area where you're already injured. And he said for us, that cut seemed to be in the midfield. Guys would just go down. He said this week they felt like they've been the healthiest in the midfield since January. Here's Alex Moser, one of the seniors here on senior day for the Hofstra Pride. Alderman, he dodges, shoots hard, lefty, and scores, beating DeLuca. Dylan Alderman, who's only played in 6 games, now 7 this season, he gets Hofstra on the board early on.
Yeah, Alderman's a very impressive player. This is just a great individual effort. Going against the long stick midi, Alderman with just incredible speed, dodging with his left hand. letting loose a high-velocity shot on the move. Very tough for the goalie to save. Alderman, he's one of my favorite players out there. He's just been battling injuries. It's huge for Hofstra to have him back healthy.
As we talked about, not a single one of Hofstra's first-line midfielders between Moser, Alderman, and Kavanaugh. None of them have played every game that Hofstra has played this season. Gallagher now winning back-to-back face-offs, gets it to Ellis, and Hofstra will have possession once more. So I thought this could be a bit more of a defensive game, but Delaware likes to push the tempo a little bit more. Hofstra trying to match that early production by Delaware. As you talked about earlier, key for Delaware. What's key for Hofstra today, Rob?
I think Hofstra, you know, their shot percentage has not been great this year, so I think, you know, they definitely have to be better about taking the shots. But I think generally the turnovers are just so important for them. Offensively, they take careless shots, and some of their top players have very high turnover numbers. So they really need to take better care of the ball, and that starts from the top, starts from some of their better players. They need to take care of it. They need to do good passing, good shooting, get in the back of the net.
Here's Ryan Tierney with the ball in his stick, added to the Tuarton watch list this week. A tough pass, handcuffs still in Alderman. And as you talk about it, Rob, turnover, as Delaware will retain possession.
They've done this all year, and it's kind of been a theme the past couple years. They just have these unforced turnovers, even from their better players. They really have to limit that. In terms of when you're looking at the best offenses out there, yeah, goalie can make a good save, or, you know, the defenseman chases the ball at the end of the end line, but it's these unforced turnovers where they're just not catching and throwing, and they really need to limit those.
Delaware spreading it out offensively right now. They've feasted on the crease with their first 2 goals, finding an open man on an entry pass. Isolation up top. Here's Hirschman. Got things started with an assist on the opening goal. Played about 5 minutes in the first quarter, 2-1. Delaware leading Hofstra on the road. Their first road contest of the conference season so far. There's Dan DeSimone. Back at X, and they move it to Charlie Kitchen. Kitchen has scored a goal in 13 consecutive games, make it 14 now as Charlie Kitchen goes sidearm and rifles one top corner.
Just a really impressive effort. Charlie Kitchen, leading scorer for Delaware, dodging against the long stick. Moving upfield, shoots behind him, far pipe. It's almost impossible for the goalie to save. You can see here he's driving all the way upfield, and he can barely see the goal. That just takes a ton of practice. That's just knowing where you are on the field and shooting it high off stick on a goalie. As you're moving upfield, the stick is hidden. It's almost impossible to save.
Charlie Kitchen's older brother, James, a member of the Pride last year.
Hofstra on defense is still trying to figure out what they want to do with their slide packages. Hofstra's defense is known for sliding very quickly and very aggressively. Right now, though, that second slide doesn't seem to be there. Their timing on the slide packages just seems to be a little rusty right now. And I think Delaware's now 3 for 3 on offense, and Kincannon doesn't have a save yet. So they really need to start, you know, fine-tuning these slide packages, because Delaware is just starting to pick them apart.
Part of that, they've been getting high percentage shots as well, Rob, right on the doorstep. Here it is, a bouncing shot. This one Kincannon might have got a piece of, but Delaware keeps the possession alive. Kitchen was there for the long rebound. Up in front, kicked away by Kincannon, out of bounds. Delaware holds on to the possession. Mark Bietta, the freshman, was back there. Up top it comes for Hirschman now. Hirschman off a screen. He's picked up, gets a step on the short stick defender. Short stick defender falls down to his feet. Delaware will slow it down for the moment. Very patient offensive attack now, stepping into one right into the chest protector of Kincannon. Rebound in front, scooped up and put in by Delaware. Mark Bietta, the freshman, in the right place, in traffic, able to beat Kincannon. And the Blue Hens on top 4-1 midway through this first.
Delaware offense just clicking in all cylinders. Kincannon for Hofstra makes a great save, but leaves a rebound. Delaware able to pick up the garbage and finish it home. Delaware 4 for 4 on offense today.
So Rob, as you talk about Jack Kincannon finally getting a couple of saves, but they're unable to finish the defensive possession. Excellent job by Delaware. Aggressive to the ball, continuing to know where it is, and making the most of second and third opportunities.
Yeah, Kincannon actually made an earlier save in that possession, and Charlie Kitchen was able to get that rebound. So those were two, rebounds that extended pretty far outside the goal that Delaware was able to pick up and take advantage of. But yeah, Hofstra's defense, it still seems like they're still working out some kinks. They just, even on that last that last play right there, the slide seemed a little unnecessary. It created some offense, and the Delaware shooter was able to have a pretty open shot. Kincannon made a good save. But again, it just seems like they're creating offense in the sense that the second slide is not ready.
Last goal aside, because sometimes a long rebound, things can just happen. What are you seeing from Delaware's defense that's causing that confusion with Hofstra?
Delaware's offense, I think, it's just, they're just moving the ball so quickly and so crisply. I think everyone kind of knows their role in the offense. Obviously, Charlie Kitchen is the quarterback. He's kind of running the show. But really, it's just kind of taking what Hofstra's giving them. Hofstra's sliding quickly, so they're just assessing where the open spots are and attacking those vacancies.
One thing that Delaware has with their offense that scores over 10 goals per contest is different guys that can contribute, and we're seeing that so far today. Mark Bieta, who's played in only 2 games this season, 4 points in those 2 games, adds another point here. Bryce Reed, Joe Easel, Charlie Kitchen, so they've got contributions from all 3 starting attackmen already, and the first line midfield getting involved as well. And of course the face-offs have been so huge. Jay Curvada has won 4 of the 6. Gallagher winning him here. After wing play comes into play here as Ellis brings it over the midfield line. And Rob, this puts more pressure on the offense too as well, right? We've had 2 possessions for Hofstra, 1 a goal and 1 a turnover. They know that they're in this early hole midway through the first.
Yeah, I mean, it's intimidating. When you see the offense on the other side of the field really not making any mistakes whatsoever, taking advantage of all the opportunities that they have. Delaware's 4 for 4 on offense. It really does put pressure on the offense for Hofstra, but again, it is very early in the game. Hofstra's offense is very good. They got a ton of weapons, especially now that everyone's healthy. So, I don't think there's anything to worry about by any means. They just need to start getting more opportunities.
Slow start last week. They did not score for the first 18 minutes of the contest. Moser had the goal early on. He's got it lost from his stick, and it's scooped up by Delaware's Rhett Schweizer. Here come the Blue Hens, unsettled situation here now. Charlie Kitchen picked up by a double team, and then he'll snuff it back out, wait for offensive personnel to come on. Now he gets a step on the defender, moves back to behind the cage at X. Freshman Mark Bieta. Andy Simone, 3 hat tricks this season, including 1 in the last game against UMass. Hirschman along with Reed, that's their first line group. A quick offensive possession for Hofstra. The defense for Delaware, they've been able to force those turnovers on 2 of Hofstra's 3 possessions.
And early on in the possessions, right? I mean, that was really kind of the first dodge of Hofstra's possession there. Alderman hangs his stick and Delaware, again, makes a great check, but Hofstra needs to do a better job of taking care of the ball on their offensive end, because Delaware's offense is just looking incredible right now.
There's Joe Easel, second-year starter on the attack. Jump shot, shooting it high. And Delaware had 2 guys behind it backing up. Dodge here from Kitchen. He's been dangerous for Mex. Feeds across on a skip pass. 1v1. Kincannon going down low for the stop. Boy, golden opportunity for Delaware, and Kincannon makes a save when his team needs it. Here's Brendan Lynch quickly up ahead for Hofstra, finding Tierney low to high and shooting it high over the cage. Hofstra will retain possession with Giannis backing up.
That was a great save from Kincannon. He had a great view of the shooter, anticipating the low shot. That's a big confidence booster for the guy in between the pipes. It's exactly what he needs, exactly what the Hofstra defense needed. A stop, the first one of the day.
5.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Delaware on top of the Pride, 4-1. Both these teams 1-1 in conference play. As we talked about, the inconsistencies out of conference have really tabled any idea of an at-large opportunity for both of these teams. So have to win that automatic qualifier. This is Moser shooting on the run. Low shot. DeLuca goes down for the stop.
Starting to see these goaltenders step up a little bit. Starting to see the ball a little bit more.
Hard collision. Good challenge by Tanner Griffin. Ball's jarred loose at midfield. Scooped up by Delaware. And they'll be able to get to the box and move into their offensive set. Those are some of the little things, little differences that, especially in conference play, start to set you apart if you win that ball versus turning it over. Up top, we get our first look at Jackson Finnegan today. And the second group, Chase Connell. Connell scoring his first career goal last game against UMass. This is Kitchen. Kitchen again has had an impact early on in this contest. Drawing Griffin. Kitchen got a step. Griffin recovering, but Kitchen in tight. Gets his second goal of the game. Delaware leads 5-1.
Very impressed by the athleticism of Charlie Kitchen. This is my first time seeing him live. He's a big guy, but man, does he move like some of the best of them out there. He's able to use his body very well. He's very quick. Look how far away he is from the goal here, and he just drives to the goal line extended, slips the stick right into his right hand and puts it top right. That is so slick, looks very easy, but so difficult to do in such tight quarters. Hofstra's defense has now put a couple of different long sticks on him and has not had an answer.
Both his goals basically coming from that spot on the field. And they were both challenged goals by the Poles. So Delaware's offense looking in sync in the early going. .325 to go in the first quarter. 5-1 Blue Hens lead. Tierney, who's been banged up at times, he holds on, as well as McIntosh. His best game of the season came in a loss at St. John's a couple weeks ago. He had 5 goals in the first half, and then was limited after that. Tierney picked up on the pole. Here's Alderman, the game's only goal for Hofstra. Back they go for Giannis. Giannis just 1 goal on the season, in trouble. Giannis towing the end line there, able to keep it in bounds. Alderman now on the run, lost it on the back check. Where the defensive midfielders for Delaware have been very aggressive on the back check. Here comes Delaware, quick opportunity, and Kitchen's got the hat trick in the first quarter.
Just outstanding end-to-end lacrosse by Delaware. Alderman hanging a stick again. Got to hand it to the Delaware defense. They're taking advantage of it. A great check. Gets it into the short stick middies defense, and every team practices this on every practice. 4-on-3 fast break. Get it to your best player at the point, Charlie Kitchen, who shoots it low and away. Just as textbook as it gets. Coaches love to see that defense turning into offense.
Delaware in their first road contest of conference play. They're off to a tremendous start. 6-1 over Hofstra here in this first quarter. They have a hold against Delaware on the faceoff, so it'll be Hofstra ball. And this Delaware team, we talked about it, really both these teams playing up or down to their competition. Delaware's been in a lot of tight games, heading to the fourth quarter, mostly within a goal of every single contest this year. Delaware making well-timed checks. The time of possession has been heavily in favor of the Blue Hens in this first quarter. Alderman a little trouble holding on to it. He scoops it up. Tierney, low shot, that beats DeLuca. And Ryan Tierney, sensing his team needs a goal, finds one.
Not necessarily a shot that the coaches are looking for you to take. It's about 15 yards out from the goal, low angle. But Ryan Tierney, one of the best shooters out there, uses his defenseman as a screen. DeLuca unable to catch up with it, probably caught off guard by the shot, especially from the lefty at that angle. Ryan Tierney, one of the best shooters out there, getting his first one of the day.
I would say Zach Strassner, the defenseman that was coming out to challenge him, didn't expect a shot there either, because the stick wasn't extended. Tierney noticed that, saw a little space, and took the opportunity to rip it. Face-off win for Gallagher, 90 seconds left. Gallagher finding McIntosh, and McIntosh has it jarred loose, scooped up by Delaware. Austin Haynes galloping upfield. Here's Thomas Allo. Delaware a chance probably to hold for, if not the last shot, work a good amount of the time that's left on the clock in this first quarter off of it. First group coming back on for Delaware with DeSimone and Hirschman. Inside a minute to play. Hirschman, a second-year starter, took a huge leap last year as a sophomore and continued his high pace of play this year. Now closing in on 30 points on the season. 27 seconds left. Shot clock is off, so Delaware will hold for the final shot of the first quarter. Kitchen has been dangerous today, a hat trick in this first. Gives it off near side. Challenge comes for him in the form of Osman. 10 seconds left. DeSimone feeding it across the cage behind the decks. Up top it comes. Got to get the shot off. Hirschman pushed off, and the horn will sound. The shot would not have counted as the shot hit Mark Bietta, the freshman attackman for Delaware, on the way to cage. But, Rob, an impressive first quarter for Delaware as they lead by 4 after 1. It's 6-2, Blue Hens leading Hofstra on the road. Stay with us. And game-winning goal for the Stags with 21 seconds left. A week ago here at Hofstra. We begin the second quarter. Delaware leading 6-2. Matt Shortis, Rob Engelke back with you from a very sunny and warm Hempstead, Long Island. Everybody in the Northeast saying finally. Feels like lacrosse weather. Face-off win for the Hofstra Pride.
Yet again, the Hofstra Pride have really been dominating the X. Even though the time possession was certainly favored towards the Delaware Hens in the first quarter, Hofstra's really kind of controlled those face-offs. Mark Ellis doing a great job of the ground balls, controlling the ball, trying to get their offense as many opportunities as they can.
It can be that simple, right? Just getting possession first and foremost. Delaware controlled the face-off battle early on. Jake Hervada got into a rhythm. Gallagher has won the last couple for Hofstra. There's Alderman feeding back behind for Kavanaugh. Giannis on a dodge off a screen from Kavanaugh. Changes direction. Back he goes to X. Brendan Kavanaugh. 2-year starter in the midfield for Hofstra. Up top for Moser. And now Tierney inverting. With the pull, Austin Haynes on him. Tierney takes a shot, saved by DeLuca. Fade ahead for Austin Haynes now.
Matt, again, that's really not a shot that you want to take for an offense that hasn't been totally clicking today. You have to look for quality shots. I know Ryan is trying to get hot, trying to figure out his, his pace of play a little bit. He's coming off a good goal from outside on the other side of the field, but coming down the alley from outside 15 yards, DeLuca is no longer to be surprised by those shots now. He knows that he'll shoot from anywhere. So granted, it was a good save, but Hofstra needs to do a much better job of finding quality shots.
Meanwhile, DeSimone and Delaware had things moving and working really well. Scored their first goal less than a minute into the contest. Charlie Kitchen already has 3 goals and an assist for 4 points today for Delaware. Unsettled situation here for Delaware as Hofstra trying to get their personnel on. And now they do. We're 6-on-6. Look towards the crease, tough shot, but it beats Kincannon. Joe Easel the second time today from right on the crease. And Delaware back on top by 5. It's 7-2.
It's really been kind of an easy formula for Delaware today on offense. You dodge, Hofstra's gonna slide no matter what. Barely beat your guy, find the open man on the crease. Granted, Easel makes a great handle with the defenseman on him, but Hofstra needs to do a better job with their 2-slide, collapsing and making sure the shot doesn't get off. Easel, very good player in the crease, very creative, able to use his body and shoot it off hit. But again, Hofstra creating offense for Delaware. They need to do a better job with their slide packages.
So Ben DeLuca, first quarter break. How are you coaching up your team, talking to your team to kind of keep the foot on the gas as you go forward in this contest?
I don't think you really have to say much. I think you just kind of, you say you take what Hofstra's giving you. You keep doing what you're doing and taking care of the ball. Right now, they are totally winning the turnover battle. They're causing turnovers on defense and holding onto the ball. They're incredibly efficient on offense today. I think they're 7 for 8 or 7 for 9 on offense, which is just incredible. So there's really not a whole lot to correct.
Hofstra had 5 turnovers in that first quarter compared to 0 for Delaware. This is Moser D'd up well by Thomas Allo, Delaware native. Alderman feeding behind for Giannis. Now it's Tierney with it. Kavanaugh on a dodge right into the chest of DeLuca. Hofstra's got the long rebound though. Moser keeping his head up, was looking towards the crease. He's gonna fling one towards Cage. Almost no angle, beats DeLuca. Talking about grip it and rip it. Moser off the rebound, puts one by DeLuca.
Yeah, I guess the formula against DeLuca is shoot when you don't think he's going to shoot. I mean, the past 2 goals, you normally would not think an offensive player would shoot, but it looks like the ball almost goes through DeLuca's shot here. Moser, just 1 or 2 yards above the goal line extended, shoots it near pipe on a righty goalie. Hard to explain how that gets in, but when it gets in, when certain scores, the ball just seems to go in. You're not really sure why, but Hofstra again on the board.
I mean, not only righty goalie hugging post near side, he's tall enough that he's over the crossbar, so that one didn't sneak over his head. Gallagher won the face-off, but then lost the stick, and we'll have a procedure against Hofstra. So every time Hofstra has scored, Delaware has been able to answer back relatively quickly. They still hold on to a 4-goal advantage. It's 7-3. Can you look at the CAA standings right now? It's UMass at 2-0, Drexel 0-2, and everybody else bunched up at 1-1 with Delaware, Hofstra, Towson, and Fairfield. Hirschman back up top it comes, look right on the crease. chased out. Behind for Kitchen. Kitchen is the short stick matchup. That's what they want. Kitchen moving inside. Kincannon, tough save in tight. But we're going to get a whistle on a late hit. So that'll give the ball back to Delaware.
Great sliding there for Hofstra. Seeing the mismatch that Kitchen had with the short stick. The slide comes early, and I like how they're using the physicality. They need to put some bodies on Kitchen because life's been too easy.
Well, pretty easy there, but it went off the side of the netting. Bryce Reed thought he might have had another goal. Instead, he fell in the crease, so that'll give it to Hofstra.
So a big stop for Hofstra there on defense. There haven't been too many stops for them, and like you said, Matt, for every goal that Hofstra scored, they haven't been able to get on a run. They haven't been able to get consecutive goals. So it's the first step, is making a stop on defense and getting the ball back in the offensive sticks.
Hofstra moving over midfield onside. Into the stick of short stick defensive midi Ryan Kennard. And they get it into the attacking area. First line midfield almost back on. Kennard will stay out there at the moment. Giannis a little trouble handling this one. He picks it up off the carpet. Giannis turning, firing. DeLuca got a piece of that. Scooped up by Delaware's Haynes. And Haynes now had some trouble. Kavanaugh relentlessly riding him. And Haynes able to escape the pressure, at least for the moment.
Great save by DeLuca there. Also a very good effort by Giannis. I like him dodging from behind, shooting it off pipe. Delaware, as a big guy, has to come across his body and all the way down to make that save. Great effort on both sides of the ball there.
How about the speed of Peter St. Jean, who has 3 Hofstra attackers charging after him before he went over midfield. The efficiency slightly less for Delaware, but still fantastic. They scored on almost every possession in that first quarter. Kitchen off a screen. Again, he's got the short stick on, and back up top he comes. This is Hirschman. Hirschman on a little split dodge, looking right on the crease. And again, another goal for Joe Easel. His 3rd from that spot on the field, beating Kincannon.
Have to hand it to Easel there. Not much that any defense can do. That was just an unbelievable handle with his back to the goal. Fading away, and is able to get against the off pipe. Great ball movement by Delaware. Not much of a dodge, but the hedge comes. Easel finds the open area, knows he's going to get the hit, and finishes it. Just incredible hand-eye coordination, willing to use your body, and better location on the shot.
He's taking a bit of a beating, but that's the sacrifice you make as a crease attackman. And he's earned it today, 3 goals. He's had 3 a couple times this season. And they changed things up, put Joel Lenskold at the face-off X. Did Delaware, and Hofstra gets this on an infraction. So Delaware's led by 5 a couple times. They do here. It's 8-3 as we approach the midway portion of the second quarter.
And Hofstra really hasn't found their groove yet on offense. The past 2 goals have been very unorthodox, shots that you normally don't want to take. They haven't had a ton of quality shots. The first goal by Alderman was a great effort, a sweep across the top, but Hofstra hasn't had very many doorstep shots, very many quality open shots at all today.
How much is that of Delaware making things uncomfortable out on the perimeter?
I think it definitely has to do with it, but really, I think Hofstra's been doing the damage on themselves. Again, the turnover numbers are severe, and so to the extent they could limit those, they'll have better opportunities going forward.
Shot by Alderman went wide. Here's Giannis charging towards cage. Giannis across for Tierney. Tierney rips it low to high to beat DeLuca. 21st goal of the season for the sophomore. And Hofstra again back within 4.
Oh my gosh, this is a shot. Giannis, head up, cross field feed. Tierney fading away from the goal with his left hand, fits it into a box that's probably a foot by a foot, maybe less. Gets the goalie guessing low, leaves the top shelf wide open. That is absolutely unbelievable. Rip top corner.
Second goal today for Ryan Tierney. And the freshman Joe Lenskold remains at the face-off X for Delaware. And a win for Delaware. Peter St. Jean had it. But it'll be Hofstra ball. Trying to look on the sideline and see if Hervada is maybe got injured or just DeLuca trying to change up the rhythm of Gallagher. He's been out the last couple of face-offs after a very efficient start for him earlier in the day.
Gallagher has been incredible at the X. I'm not a face-off specialist myself, but Greg Grillian's done a great job of expanding that role, understanding the intricacies of it. And Gallagher has been pushing it in front, bringing it back, using all different strategies. He looks like an expert at the X today.
Kavanaugh's shot went wide. Remember talking to him last year for a Lizards game, and he talked about when he first broke into the league, or when he first was taking face-offs in college, it was almost, a joke of a position. And the growth of the Fogo, from his eyes, has been a fantastic addition to the game. Here's Alderman in tight. Slides to the turf after the goal. Back-to-back goals for Hofstra.
Alderman's one of those players where it's just high risk, high reward. He's had two turnovers today, but he's also had 2 goals. This is just an unbelievable effort. He knows he's going to get hit. He knows there's a low angle. He tucks his stick underneath, and he just sprints as fast as he can. He's got great speed, tucks his stick, gets the hit, and puts it in the top right corner with not much angle. Just an outstanding effort. And those are the type of goals that it gets the sideline fired up. I'm sure you could hear it from the Hofstra. That's just a hustle play, and coaches and players love seeing that.
Delaware's lead is now 8-5 with 6 minutes remaining in the first half. The first time all game that Hofstra has scored back-to-back goals. Delaware on a face-off win. Near side it comes for Kitchen. As the freshman Lenskold able to win his first face-off of the day. Hervada standing on the sideline, looks fine. So perhaps it is Ben DeLuca just trying to change up Gallagher's rhythm, throw a little curveball at him.
Man, it's amazing the way momentum works. I think that was the first time that Hofstra scored consecutive goals, and now you feel like it. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's no secret here. When you score consecutive goals, things feel better. But Hofstra definitely feels there's more energy on the field now. And now they're only down by 3 as opposed to 5, and it happens so quickly. And that's what happens with face-offs and good effort on the offensive end.
Well, Hirschman and Delaware trying to keep the pressure and hold on to their lead. They've jumped out to an early lead. It was 4-1, and they've pretty much been at 3 or 4 goals since that, as high as 5. Bieta up top. It is for Hirschman. Hirschman with a couple goals today. Stall warning is on, so the clock will go on. Hirschman swims out of a check. Right side for Bryce Reed. Reed trying the short stick matchup, trying to get his hands free. Hirschman now with it. 15 seconds on the shot clock for Delaware. There's Hirschman. Kitchen will grab it, send it towards cage, and Concannon goes low for the stop.
Outstanding defense from Hofstra there. when the slide package works, when their slides are right, it honestly looks like it's almost a play. It almost looks like it's ballet. Everyone knows what they're doing. It's very smooth. Everything is covered, and it feels like there's 10 defensemen out there. The shot that they gave up, they will give up every time for Kincannon. The 12 to 15 yarders, they'll let that happen all day. He's a great goalie from that range. Just a great effort from Hofstra, probably the best defensive possession all day.
Well, Luke Gomez ties it up. He's tied up and gives the ball right back. Delaware trying to clear here as Easel picks it up. So for all the work that Hofstra did on a defensive perspective, another turnover for the Pride. Kitchen will step into it, throw it towards Cage again. Kincannon shouldered it away, and backing up for Delaware was Mark Pieta. 3.5 to go in the first half. 3-goal Delaware lead at 8-5. Charlie Kitchen has led the way with 3 goals and an assist. Joe Easel, 3 goals as well, all in tight right on the crease. Dandy Simone gets a step. Slide comes over to him. He's forced back up top. Now Reed rolling. Can't get by his defender. Lynch doing a good job on him. Simone off a screen. Top now for Delaware is Finnegan. Jackson Finnegan getting some more run here with this first group. Reed has his pass deflected away. Onto the turf it goes, scooped up by Punkhaber of Hofstra. So back-to-back defensive possessions where Hofstra is able to create a turnover. Rob, what have you seen differently from Hofstra's defense in the last couple of minutes where Delaware is not able to get that interior pressure like we saw earlier in the game?
I really think it's the backside help. A lot of the goals we've seen, it's been Easel on the crease, and the 2-slide hasn't been aggressive enough. And I think what you're seeing now is, unfortunately, after 7 or 8 goals, the defense realizes that we need to do a better job with our 2-slide, covering Easel, paying more attention to the crease, because we're giving up too many easy goals.
Here's Moser now to Alderman up top. Alderman with a pair today. As Hofstra trying to continue to battle their way back into this game. It was a slow start last week against Fairfield, where they had to come from behind. Eventually lost that one late. Turnaround shot, tough one at that, goes over the cage. Off the stick of Giannis. And Seth Tierney is going to take a moment to talk this one over. Calls the timeout with 1:27 to go in the first half. So again, the Delaware lead is 3, and as we have a timeout, Lac Sports Network is your home for the CAA Women's Game of the Week as well. Next Sunday, April 22nd, we'll be live from Delaware Stadium when the Blue Hens host William and Mary, 1 p.m. Eastern. CAA Game of the Week only on Lac Sports Network. Delaware ladies winning here yesterday over the Hofstra Pride, and the men trying to make it a perfect 2-0 weekend here in Hempstead, and things are going well for them right now. An 8-5 lead. They've led by as many as 5 today. Seth Tierney, Ryan Tierney trying to find some answers as to why this team has started slow the last couple weeks and how they can continue to battle back like they did a week ago.
I have to say, it's got to be a funny dynamic with the way Seth Tierney is and the way his son plays. The attack from Ryan Tierney shoots from all over the place. Seth Tierney is a disciplinarian, is a defensive guy, likes controlling the ball, and meanwhile his son is shooting from all over the place. Probably one of the best shooters in the game, so it's a funny dynamic. An outstanding coach, an outstanding player. You really don't see that too often. You saw it with the Danowskis back in the day, and now you see it with the Tierneys. It's just a really cool part of the game when you have coaches and players playing with each other, or, you know, being on the same sideline, and you love to see it, especially when it works so well.
I know, talking to Seth last year, he said he was coaching Ryan as a kid. You know, he was part of the town league and he was getting into coach mode, right? And it started to drive Ryan away from the game, and Ryan actually wanted to stop playing lacrosse. And at that point, Seth said, all right, I got to take a step back, and I can't coach him anymore. And at the point where he, started his recruiting process, Ryan came to them and said, look, I'm either playing for you or I'm playing for Uncle Bill out of at Denver. So it's going to be one of those two. I'm not going anywhere else. Ended up staying local.
I'm sure Uncle Bill would have been quite all right if he came over to Denver.
Minutes ago in the first half, Delaware leading 8-5. Hofstra has scored the last 2 goals, trying to make it 3 in a row here. Alderman being challenged hard. Up top by Ryan Shaw. Giannis now to Kavanaugh. Back it comes for Giannis, working a little 2-man game behind it. X in the crease for Alderman, who lets it go high.
That 2-man game behind is so interesting. It almost lulls the defense to sleep. When those 2 guys are interacting behind the goal so much, the defensemen above the goal line extended they start losing interest. They watch it so much, and Alderman finds a crease and almost gets a goal.
Giannis couldn't handle it that time. And there's inside 30 seconds left. Delaware will clear.
Plenty of time left to get down the field and get a shot here for Delaware.
Steven Totora bring the ball upfield for the Blue Hens. Now 10 seconds left. They almost got one off at the end of the first quarter, trying to do the same here. Easel already has 3, 2 of them in the quarter. 1 second left. Easel turns, fires a bouncer. That was well wide. And the first half will come to an end. Delaware on the road, leading Hofstra 8-5. So even though Hofstra started to make a little run of it towards the end of that first half, Delaware feels good at the break with a 3-goal cushion.
They definitely do, especially how efficient they've been on offense. There's a lot to take away in game to the first half. Hofstra trying to limit the deficit as much as they can, down by 5 at one point, now down by 3. Alderman making a great effort and trying to finish it off and get into the second half.
Delaware leading 8-5. We'll send it back to the LSN Broadcast Center for the Lacrosse Now halftime show. He won 1 face-off towards the end of the first half. He's been getting the nod the last 3 or 4 for Delaware. Clean face-off win for Gallagher. He comes charging ahead to McIntosh. And we're underway here in the second half. Delaware trying to get out of Hempstead with this lead intact.
Some things to watch for Hofstra on offense. Obviously, turnovers a big theme, but just the quality of shots. So they had 5 goals in the first half. 3 of those were really unorthodox outside shots that I think the goalie DeLuca for Delaware would like to have back. Hofstra needs to do a much better job of taking higher quality shots, trying to get them closer to the cage, inside 15 yards at least, probably closer to 10.
Little shimmy from Kavanaugh. He shoots on the run and scores. And Hofstra the closest they've been since early in the first quarter. It's 8-6 Delaware.
Just a great individual effort by Kavanaugh. Very crafty, very creative player. Extremely quick, gets underneath the short stick defenseman, is able to put the stick right back in his left hand. Here he is, dodging left to right, puts it right back into his left hand and dishes it into the top left corner. Not so many defensemen and goalies in the entire country are stopping that move.
Delaware had the early advantage and got off to a quick start in this contest a minute in. Hofstra scoring a minute into this third quarter. Gallagher shooting on the run wide. He's got some offensive skills when he gets out on the break. 2 goals on the season. Missed the cage there. This Tierney-Austin Haynes battle has been a fun one this afternoon. So the first unit back out for Hofstra in the midfield after a quick rest. Moser drawing the short stick. The long pole, pardon me. Now this is Moser. Moser looking on the doorstep for McIntosh. Saved by DeLuca. Ball to the turf, picked up by Delaware, flagged down, and we're going to get our first penalty of the game coming up against Hofstra.
Moser with a great look on the crease, but DeLuca up to the task. Great doorstep save by DeLuca. Those are the type of saves that you want early on in the second half to get in the groove.
Delayed penalty on Hofstra. Delaware with a free play here. Hirschman and St. Jimmy. Bryce Reed and the rest of the first line midfield comes on. Reed will invert. Just shy of 20 goals on the season. He and Kitchen back behind the cage. Kitchen has scored a couple times from this spot on the field, right on the doorstep. Easel looking for another one, goes out of play. And that will finally bring us to the penalty call. Delaware to go man up.
Moser dodging against the short stick midi. Pulls it right in between two defensemen. The attackman, great handle, twirls it around, but DeLuca, as you can see, just stood his ground, took a great angle against the attackman, and made a great save. Some contact in between the middle of the field, which drew the penalty. Delaware now man up.
A pretty clear cross check on Ryan Tierney, so he goes to the box for a minute. As Austin Haynes went down. Look up top. Easel thought about it. Back it comes in the right point. There's Kitchen behind the cage. Hirschman straight away. Easel getting a hat trick in that first half. Hirschman will step into it. Chest protector save. Concannon, long rebound. Out in front, shoveled almost into the goal by a Hofstra defender. And Hofstra is able to scoop it up. They thought Concannon would be back in the crease. He wasn't, and that very nearly was a Delaware goal.
Great job by the Hofstra man-down defense, forcing an outside shot, making it easy for Jack Concannon, who made some great saves. Hofstra now trying to... Another turnover for Hofstra. Delaware still man up.
Osman threw it away as he was in trouble. Delaware goes back to work. Now we are back to 6-on-6.
A lot of the offense in the first half for Delaware was created by the Hofstra defense. Hofstra's defense is known for sliding quickly, very aggressively, and Delaware was able to take advantage of that, move the ball very quickly. Their stick skills was outstanding in the first half. Passing was very crisp, and that allowed for open goals that were on the crease. And so I think they're going to try and continue that, continue the good pass and good shooting led by Charlie Kitchen.
Kitchen had some good individual effort goals in the first half. Thought about another one there, instead feeds it behind. Turned over, Ellis picks it up. So Ellis will step it in, and Hofstra is back on offense. 5 minutes gone in this third quarter, 8-6 Delaware leading, but it was an 8-3 advantage at one point in this contest.
Just like Coach Tierney said at the break, you just got to take it one goal at a time. That was a great defensive effort by Mark Ellis on Hofstra. Mark Ellis actually went to Stony Brook for football. Is now playing here, playing lacrosse obviously for Hofstra. So a local Garden City product can do it in multiple sports, making a great effort on the defensive end, causing the turnover.
Make sure to get the Garden City shout out on the air. Ellis now a grad student. Actually scored his only goal of the season against Stony Brook. And a win against the Seawolves. Nice swim move by Moser. Dump it off near side for Alderman, and Alderman right into the stick of DeLuca. Lead pass ahead for Schweizer. Schweizer scoops it up. Unsettled play here. Schweizer on the run, bounces it, and Kakanin's got it. End-to-end play now. Gomez with it for Hofstra as Gomez over the midfield line. Gomez, Giannis now with it. Giannis dragged it, was waiting on it a little bit. Looked like he was almost about to let that one fly, but instead thinks better of it. Tierney back with it. You know, Tierney had the penalty a moment ago, Rob. After you've been kind of beat up by a defenseman all game, do you kind of side with Tierney, taking the penalty there, almost getting the opportunity to get one back?
We're all human. When you have the opportunity to get back at the defenseman that's been hitting you all day, most attackmen take it.
Up top, straight away, it's Ryan Kennard working his way into this first midfield group. Tierney up top. Tierney will dodge right into the stick of DeLuca. Back-to-back saves for DeLuca. Out ahead to Haynes.
A lot of offensive coaches will actually put that in the turnover column. When you take those shots twice in a row now, Hofstra puts his stick side high against a big goalie. There's plenty of goal where you could shoot it where the goal's not covered. And I know the offensive coach for Hofstra is really not going to be happy for those past two shots. Got to take better quality shots, better spots.
Approaching the midway portion of the third quarter, 8-6, Delaware leading, but it's been a while since their last goal, and they turned it over here. Last Delaware goal coming at the 8:15 mark of the second quarter. So beyond a full 15 minutes now since Delaware last scored.
I like Hofstra's offense when they're dodging vertically, when they're attacking the goal. A lot of times, I think Hofstra has problems when they're going horizontal. They're dodging from the wings, and they're just kind of swooping around the goal. I like them attacking the goal, especially against the short sticks. They have a ton of speed, and they need to do a better job of taking advantage of that.
Well, Moser trying to do just that here. Finding Tierney. Tierney scored a goal from basically in that spot earlier in this contest. Looking right on the doorstep for McIntosh. Hits the turf. Thrown a little behind him. Scooped up by Hofstra. Delaware looked like they wanted a loose ball push there against Hofstra, but none call forthcoming. Longish possession for the Pride now, going on over a minute. And you can see Coach DeLuca on the sideline calling for the shot clock to be turned on. He's been saying it for probably about 15 seconds now, and now the clock is turned on. So 30 seconds on. Here's a running shot from Alderman. Had his stick checked as he let it go and out of play. Moser now with 20 seconds on the clock. Up top for Tierney. Moser isolated straight away. Has a step on his defender. He shoots on the run. A shot wide. Giannis picks it up, shoots high, and scores. So a rebound squirts out to Jimmy Giannis, and he scores his 17th goal of the season. Hofstra's within one.
Moser for Hofstra is a midfielder. Dodges down this right-hand side, gets the back check. Hofstra's midfielder's been plagued by the back checks from Delaware. The ball gets loose. Giannis, slick enough, picks it up overhand right over a tall goalie's head. There's not too much room above there, but just a great shot. Giannis not known for as a goal scorer, but really opportunistic. He's had a couple of great feeds today, notching his first one of the day.
Gallagher won the faceoff, tried to get it away quickly. His pass got deflected all the way over to the far sideline there. And now a battle for it out of bounds. Last touch by Delaware. Hervada back out of the faceoff X, but the same result. Gallagher has been in a rhythm in this third quarter.
It's so important when you're trying to collapse a deficit, keeping the momentum, keeping possession, giving your offense as many opportunities as you can. Gallagher has just been so sharp. He's been pushing it in front with the plunger or having possession face-offs, just doing a great job mixing it up and keeping Hofstra's face-off guys on their toes.
4 consecutive goals since Delaware went on top, 8-3 at the 8:15 mark of the second quarter. Get a look from Bryce Tolmie. Second group on for Hofstra. There's been a lot of offensive possession for the Pride in the third quarter. Dominic Pryor on as well, a freshman. Here's Giannis now feeling some confidence. Giannis turnaround shot saved by DeLuca. Long rebound comes out to Delaware. In a cadre of yellow jerseys, Thomas Allo able to get it into the offensive area for the Blue Hens. Kitchen being bothered right now by Tanner Griffin. He's able to suck it back out and allow Delaware to get into some offense. Been a long time since the Blue Hens have possessed the ball.
I agree. It's been a long time, 6-on-6 for the Blue Hens on offense. They've had a couple of good shots in transition. Kincannon has been up to the task. We've had a man up. Kincannon was up to the task. So, you know, it definitely feels like Delaware needs to do a better job finding Easel and other players in the crease like they did in the first half. Find those guys and get the better quality shots that they were so efficient with in the first half.
Jackson Finnegan, senior midfielder, back on for Delaware. This is DeSimone. DeSimone finding Finnegan. Swinging around to the far side. As the slide comes over, back it comes for X for Kitchen. Kitchen had a big first quarter. He's been quiet since, though. Being bothered by Tanner Griffin. He's basically shadowed him in this second half. Behind the cage it comes, and the stall warning is on for Delaware. Will Hirschman one-on-one. Easel had it checked out of his stick, picked up by Lynch. Well-timed check by Brett Osman of Hofstra.
When this Hofstra defense is clicking and their second slides and their third slides are efficient and sharp, it is so hard and so frustrating for the offense because you think a guy is open and then all of a sudden the alleyway has collapsed so quickly. The defensive poles are so aggressive with their checks. It can be very upsetting and very frustrating for the offense when Hofstra's defense is clicking.
So their first group is back on. We're closing in on the 2-minute mark of the third quarter in a 1-goal contest. Delaware has been no stranger to close games this year. In a majority of their games, they've entered the fourth quarter at a 1-goal differential. Shot saved by DeLuca, picked up by Hofstra, though. Kavanaugh in some trouble as Kavanaugh chased away, able to hold on to possession. Good tenacity trying to bother Kavanaugh. And good physical play by Kavanaugh holding on to that. Here's Tierney beating his man. Tierney, toe drag move, shoots it high. 139 shows on the scoreboard in the third quarter. Giannis brings it back in. High pass saved by Dylan Alderman. Alderman got the scoring started for Hofstra earlier today, and now Alderman's pass goes high. Kavanaugh will run out of room as it goes out of bounds. It's the 9th turnover of the day for Hofstra. 5 of those coming in the first quarter. Final minute of play in the third. Charlie Kitchen drawing the short stick matchup with Mitch Kingsley on him. Kingsley named a captain about midway through the season for Hofstra. Delaware looking to add 1 as they've watched their lead dissipate through the last 15+ minutes. Inside 30 seconds to go. Here's Kitchen with an edge. Gets a little bit of room, turns and scores. Fourth goal today for Charlie Kitchen, and that's just what the doctor ordered for Delaware.
Charlie Kitchen been quiet this entire second half. Hofstra's defense has been a good job sliding. Doesn't matter here. Charlie Kitchen knows the slide's coming because he's got the short stick midi. Takes the hit, steps away, and he knows where he is on the field. He's practiced this shot a million times and is able to get it behind Kincannon. This kid can do it all.
Offensive leader for Delaware, now 27 goals on the season to go along with 11 assists. And they throw the long pole. Does Delaware at Gallagher, having lost 14 of the 18 faceoffs. Delaware winning another one. A chance here late for the Blue Hens to go back on top by 3. Easel in tight, flag down. And Hofstra's got it on a Kincannon save as time expires, but it looks like Delaware is going to go man up as we begin the fourth quarter. Does not look like they will put any time on the clock. So Delaware will have it when we begin quarter number 4, up by 2. We are back at Hofstra as we begin the fourth quarter. Brett Osman on a 30-second penalty. So we skip the face-off. Delaware man up. They're 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Zipping a pass through to Bryce Reed, and it went incomplete, out of bounds. Delaware turns it over.
Both teams having a tough time in the man-up offense, not getting quality shots. Every opportunity is so important, obviously, in one-goal games as we enter into the fourth quarter here.
Line 7, the score is Delaware leading. They have not trailed in this game. They jumped out 1-0 on a goal from Bryce Reed. 47 seconds in, they added another one a couple minutes later. And they have led by as many as 5 a couple times today. And both teams 1-1 in conference play. As we hit the meat of the conference schedule. Here's a dodge from Hofstra. Bouncer. DeLuca got a piece of this one. Kavanaugh had it for a moment. Recovers, though. Kavanaugh now to Tierney. Tierney drops the level, shoots it high. Giannis backing up for Hofstra.
The second half so far has played out much differently than the first half. The defenses seem to have settled down. The goalies seem to have settled down. A lot less scoring, and to be honest, it hasn't been as efficient on offense just because it hasn't been as crisp with the way the defenses has been playing. I think the offense is starting to get a little tentative as the game gets a little closer. Teams are starting to realize and feel the intensity because this game is so important for both teams.
Delaware scored 6 goals in the first quarter, and we thought we might be in for a track meet. But it slowed into more of a defensive contest as this game has matured. There's McIntosh. He's been a little quiet today on the crease. Giannis roll dodge, looking to McIntosh. He has his stick checked, and the ball to the turf. Alderman's got it for Hofstra, though. Moser, Tierney stepping into one. Looked like it deflected off the boot of DeLuca and in. Third goal of the day for Ryan Tierney as the hat trick gets Hofstra within a goal.
It's a classic Hofstra play. The midfielder comes over the top. The partnering midfielder slips to the other side. The hedging defender is unable to catch up to Tierney, who gets it out of his stick so quickly. Moser dodging with the short stick, gets the slide. Tierney catches it and releases one of the best shooters in the country. DeLuca unable to keep up.
So back to the face-off X we go. Hervada is there for Delaware. And a clean win as Gallagher sent it back to Mitch Kingsley. And Hofstra looking to tie for the first time since it was 0-0. Shows you how big that goal by Charlie Kitchen at the end of the third quarter was for Delaware. Otherwise, they were looking at a full quarter of play without scoring. As it is just one goal for the Blue Hens since the 8:15 mark of the second quarter. Alderman thought about letting that one fly. Haynes picked him up and deterred the decision. Giannis around one defender. Giannis, tough shot. DeLuca, the save, stuck with it.
DeLuca has made a couple of doorstep saves today. Those are just so tough. Giannis made an outstanding move, and I like what he did there, trying to put it in between the 5-hole or to the far pipe, but DeLuca up to the task. He's made a couple of those that are just so crucial for the defense, as Hofstra's offense is starting to click a little bit.
DeLuca is up to 12 saves today, averages a shade over 10 a game. Delaware, they've been in this position a couple times this year. Again, the 1-goal loss to UMass last week. A couple late losses for the Blue Hens. Charlie Kitchen trying to keep this one in the favor of Delaware. Kitchen up top. Here comes for DeSimone, swinging around on the right side for Hirschman. Hirschman's denied entry. Good physical defense by Kingsley. And he's not letting any entry for Hirschman. Hirschman sends it back behind the cage for Kitchen. Kitchen, a 5-point day for Delaware, 4 goals and an assist. Had a first quarter hat trick. And now he's got a short stick matchup. Shot clock is on as Kitchen gets rid of it. Ten seconds elapsed on the shot clock. And Kitchen still has that short stick matchup, and Luke Gomez defending him. 2-man game behind the cage. Hirschman up top, right on the crease. Not a lot behind that shot, and it goes high. They found Beta, and it's a win on the race to the point of exit for Kincannon that draws the big ovation from the Hofstra bench.
Gotta love the hustle from the goaltender. Interesting defense from Hofstra. What they're doing is they're allowing the switch when Kitchen is behind with the long stick. So he's doing a pick. Hofstra's switching and giving him the short stick, and what that does is it actually takes the Delaware offense out of their rhythm. Delaware thinks they have a great matchup with Kitchen and the short stick, so everything stops. Everyone's looking at him, hoping that he'll beat his guy. But Hofstra, on the other hand, knows exactly what they want to do. They have the slide package set up. They know they're going to slide quickly, and all that does is take Delaware out of their groove, creates a shot clock, and then at the end of the day, Kincannon's able to chase the ball down and get the ball back.
This is Giannis charging. Now Alderman, that 2-man game, the other side for Tierney, who lets it fly. So it's almost like Hofstra's defense is baiting Delaware into stalling out and getting out of sync in their own offense. Played 6 minutes in the fourth quarter. Delaware still on top, a goal. Giannis trying to change that, turns around, lets it fly wide as Kavanaugh was there backing up.
It's amazing what a goal can do for a player's confidence. Giannis scored earlier in the third quarter, and you can see he's just dodging with a lot more intensity, attacking the goal. He's had a couple of great dodges. A couple times ago, DeLuca made a great save, but this is exactly what you want to see for Hofstra. Really strong dodges attacking the cage.
Alderman sandwiched just as he let that go and missed the cage. And it's what you were talking about before, Rob, a lot more north-south dodging. Up top, Tierney, space, and another one, a worm burner, gets by DeLuca. Hofstra has tied it up at 9.
This is really good offense from Hofstra, just wearing down the defense. It's a long possession, a couple of really good dodges. Giannis dodging with his head up and able to find Tierney, who for some reason was just absolutely wide open. One of the best players and one of the best shooters in the country should not be left open like that. He's going to put that away every time. A great angle fooling the goalie. And this is the hallmark of a great shooter. You've seen Tierney go low to high numerous times and has scored that way numerous times today. What does he do now? He goes lows to low. And against a goalie that's 6'3", that's almost impossible to save.
So 9-9 is the score. Gallagher winning the faceoff over Hervada. And then finding Ellis as he raked it his way. And Hofstra now looking to take the lead for the first time this afternoon.
Gallagher is just dominating the X. 2 times ago, he was able to rake it to his teammate over on the restraining line. This time he takes it on his own, takes a hit and shovels it to his teammate. He really has the full arsenal of moves as a faceoff guy.
16-5 advantage in the faceoff X for Hofstra today. Gallagher has done it against several Delaware players.
And it really is just demoralizing if you're Kitchen or an attackman on Delaware. All you want is more opportunities on the offensive end, and you really haven't seen many today.
It's been the inverse of what we saw in the first quarter, where Delaware had it for probably about 10 minutes of that first quarter. Kavanaugh feeding across. Moser roll dodge, rings off the post, big rebound out for Delaware. And a tough one to handle, but the Blue Hens able to find Haynes. And finally do get over to the midfield line. Now for Delaware, you feel like Ben DeLuca saying, hey, we're not behind yet. There's still a lot of time in this game. Let's just get into our offense.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to really for most of this second half. They've been doing a lot of invert. They've been isolating Charlie Kitchen a lot. What really worked in the first half was crisp ball movement, making Hofstra slide as many times as they can and trying to find the open guy in the crease. They need to get back to that and see what Hofstra can give them.
Kitchen trying to be a little bit more physical against Ellis, and he's dispossessed of the ball. Ellis scoops up the ground ball, but it still continues. And Delaware's got it, and a quick timeout by DeLuca after Bryce Reed picked it up.
Take advantage of whatever the opposing team can give you and try and come out with a W.
I know we had it as a Twitter poll earlier in the week. One of the more shocking victories of the week was that Fairfield one, especially after the way that Hofstra opened their conference slate against Towson, a 9-3 win. A bit surprising. Kitchen getting a step and getting a goal. Goal number 5 today for Charlie Kitchen. Gives Delaware the lead back, a 10-9 advantage for the Blue Hens.
This is just so impressive. This is the third goal from basically the same spot. Here he is with his short stick. He's driving upfield, fading away, gets a ton of velocity and shoots it right above the head of Kincannon. He's basically put it in all three spots from this shot. He's shot it low, he's shot it hip high, and here he is shooting above the head from Kincannon, making the goalie guess. That shot is so tough. You need to practice that day and night. He's got it like in the back pocket, and he's only a sophomore.
So the two guys we kind of keyed in offensively pregame, they have come to play today. Tierney with 4 goals and Kitchen with 5 and an assist.
And you have to be excited for the conference when you're keying those two guys, and they're both sophomores. So both the leaders of these teams are going to be back for a couple more years. They're outstanding players. There's a lot to be excited about.
Delaware winning the faceoff this time. Steven Totora stepping into the offensive area. Unsettled situation. Delaware had a chance, but they decided to work some time and let the offense go to work.
When you have a player like Charlie Kitchen, I mean, he's scored the past 2 goals, and he's just killing momentum because those are just individual efforts that Hofstra knows he's going to dodge. They know what he wants to do. They know he's a good player. They know they need to key on him, and it doesn't matter. He's going to score. He's going to stop the momentum. He's going to get Delaware lead again. That's the hallmark of just a dominant player.
Here's Beta behind the cage. A goal today. He's had 3 goals in his 3 games starting in this attack. Here he is off a screen. Hirschman back for Kitchen. It's been fantastic today. Kitchen right to the crease. Good check away by Puckhaber. Will have a loose ball push against Hofstra. It'll stay Delaware ball.
I don't understand why they continue to allow a short stick on Kitchen. They're allowing that switch way too easy. They don't need to switch and give the short stick to Kitchen.
Well, it seemed like earlier in the game he felt like that was getting Delaware out of their offensive rhythm. Now it seems more that he's kind of picked up on something where he can take advantage of that. DeSimone drawing the short stick here. DeSimone looking towards the crease. Lost it on a back check as he tried to get a pass away. Gomez in a fight for it for Hofstra. Swept away towards the top of the box, and it'll picked up by Easel. So Delaware getting to some of those loose balls that they weren't earlier in the half and extending offensive possessions.
But at the end of the day, this really isn't the same offense that we saw in the first half. I mean, the first half you saw multiple passes before any shots. Now you're seeing ISO dodges, and shots right away. I don't know if that's something you can rely on late in the game. I'd like to see continued ball movement and not so much reliant on Charlie Kitchen.
Shot clock is on. Under 30 seconds to go now in this possession. Tough move inside. That one might have been saved by Kincannon. It's Bryce Reed. And they're going to confer and see if that was on cage, because that would then reset the shot clock. So the officials get together, and they will in fact reset the shot clock. So big save, big shot for Delaware. If for nothing else, they can work more time off this, trying to hold on to this 1-goal advantage with about 3 to play. Here's Reed up top for DeSimone. Little trouble handling that one. And then he's chased above the line.
These long possessions, it's really who's more tired, who's been doing more conditioning, who's in better shape. A lot of guys like to say you got to wear defenses down. Well, when you're doing that, the offense is tired too. So, you have to limit the unforced errors on both sides of the ball here. And whoever's able to take advantage of it, obviously, is going to come out on top.
DeSimone and Reed behind the cage for Delaware. As Kitchen's on the crease right now. Here's Reed trying to go one-on-one against Osman from X. Possession is about 2 minutes long for Delaware. Up top, Hirschman thought about stepping into it. But puck keeper was there. Shot clock is on now for Delaware. Low to high shot, Concannon rising for the save.
Advantage Hofstra on the unforced error. So there you go. The offense is getting tired and just the mental breakdown and has a stupid shot. Concannon with the save, able to maintain his position in between the pipes. Hofstra with a huge opportunity.
Inside 2 to play. You wonder how quickly Seth Tierney goes to the timeout. And the answer is there. Very quickly. As Seth Tierney has his team trailing by a goal. They've battled back. They trailed by as many as 5 today. But Charlie Kitchen has been enough to give Delaware the 1-goal lead late. Well, the 2018 Major League Lacrosse Draft will be live exclusively on Lac Sports Network on Wednesday, April 18. Last year we saw a number of CAA stars selected, including Hofstra's Josh Byrne, who went on to win the MLL Rookie of the Year award with the Chesapeake Bayhawks. Coverage of the draft gets underway at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on April 18th, live from the U.S. Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. And the only place to see it is right here on Lac Sports Network. I knew Josh Byrne would have an impact once he went to the MLL the way he had an impact here in Hempstead. Delaware, after Hofstra had a long defensive possession, they're trying to figure out what they can do defensively to keep that 1-goal advantage.
Yeah, it hasn't been the prettiest lacrosse in the past, to be honest. For most of this second half, the defense has been dominating most of the game. The goaltenders are taking advantage of ill-advised shots or poorly located shots. So I think the teams that is able to kind of get back to their high-quality play, take high-quality shots, is going to be that one that comes away, because I feel like both offenses are just, they're taking too great a risks right now.
So it'll be Dylan Alderman to begin with the ball in his stick. 2 goals and an assist today for Hofstra, as the Pride spreading it out wide out of the timeout. Now it's Moser on the dodge, finding Alderman. Tierney has it left side. Some good quick passing though from Hofstra. Giannis coming goal line extended. He's denied entry by Strassner. Alderman on the run, pulling it wide. Kavanaugh backing up.
I like what Hofstra did out of the timeout. They had a set play, but they're patient with the ball, trying to find the best shot, but staying aggressive. This is exactly the type of offense you want out of a timeout. Looks like they're coming out with a ton of energy.
Moser up top for Alderman. Alderman a screen. We saw this little 2-man pick and pop with Tierney before. Delaware reading it well as Haynes was there. Moser now to Tierney on the left side. Inside, a minute to go in the 4th quarter. 1-goal Delaware lead. Kavanaugh trying to body his way in. Good defense from Delaware. Giannis now. Giannis goal line extended, turns around, shoots it wide. That'll stop the clock. 45 seconds left. Kavanaugh backing up for the Pride. Hofstra bench screaming at one of their attackers out of the restart. Giannis off a screen from McIntosh. 30 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Up top for Tierney. Tierney shooting it on the run, and an easy save for DeLuca. And now DeLuca will just pull it out, and he waits for somebody to challenge him. DeLuca standing back there, working 15 seconds off the clock, and DeLuca will get it away to Liam Duff, and Liam Duff can heave it downfield, and time will expire. Delaware comes into Hempstead and escapes with a 10-9 victory.
Defensive stand by Delaware at the end of the game is going to be something that they can carry towards for the rest of the season. That was a great job. Hofstra's got a great offense. The defense stood its ground. And at the end, DeLuca made a save against one of the best shooters in the country. A lot to take away for this Delaware team and the defense.